Imagine a world plunged into darkness by a mysterious illness. It spreads like wildfire, silent and deadly, leaving a trail of sorrow and fear. Doctors are baffled, scientists are racing against the clock, but the disease known only as the Grey Fade continues its relentless march across the globe. In the midst of this chaos, in a small, unassuming laboratory, a brilliant but overlooked biochemist named Dr. Aris Thorne is working tirelessly. While the world's leading institutions focused on containment, Aris believed the answer lay hidden within the disease itself. She had a radical theory. What if the Grey Fade wasn't just a pathogen, but a transformation? What if it was rewriting human DNA, and the key to stopping it was not to destroy it, but to understand its language? This idea was dismissed as reckless, even heretical, by the scientific community. Funding was cut. Her colleagues abandoned her, and she was left with nothing but her conviction and a handful of loyal assistants. They worked in isolation, racing against time as the world outside grew quieter and dimmer. Aris and her team spent months analyzing samples, running countless simulations. They discovered the Grey Fade targeted a specific genetic marker, one that governed cellular regeneration. It wasn't killing its victims. It was accelerating their aging process to an impossible degree. The cure, she realized, wouldn't be a vaccine to fight the disease, but a counter-sequencer genetic key that could halt and reverse the process. The problem was, creating this key required a living host, someone to integrate the prototype sequence and allow their body to synthesize the final cure. The risks were astronomical. The volunteer would have to be infected with the Grey Fade first. The prototype sequence might not work. It could accelerate the disease or cause a catastrophic systemic failure. It was, in essence, a suicide mission. As news of their potential breakthrough leaked, the military tried to seize her research, wanting to control the cure. But Aris knew that if they took it, the cure would become a weapon or a commodity for the rich. She locked down her lab, refusing to let anyone in. Time was running out. One of her own team members had contracted the Grey Fade. Desperation filled the lab. Who would be the volunteer? Who would make that ultimate sacrifice? In the quiet of the night, Aris made her decision. She looked at her team, her family, and the images of suffering people across the world. She had started this journey. She would be the one to finish it. She wrote letters to her loved ones, documented every last step of her procedure, and then she prepared the injection. With her team watching in tearful silence, Aris infected herself with the Grey Fade. The agonizing process began immediately. But before she lost consciousness, she injected the prototype countersequence. For 3 days, she lay on the brink of death, her body a battleground, and then a miracle. Slowly, miraculously, the symptoms began to recede. Her body had done it. It had synthesized the cure. They were able to replicate the cure from her blood, creating enough to save her infected team member and eventually the world. Dr. Aris Thorne survived, but she was changed forever. The process had left its mark on her, a constant reminder of her sacrifice. She never sought fame or recognition. For her, the reward was seeing the world slowly return to life, knowing that, because she was willing to risk everything, no one else had to. Her story is a quiet testament to the power of courage, a reminder that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who work in the shadows, not for glory, but for humanity. Thank you for watching.